Hello folks, how you guys doing today? Wanted to make a video on this new year. Happy New Year to everybody out there. Hope you guys had a blessed celebration and bring the new year and on a positive note. So wanted to go ahead and make a little video, a little bit of an extensive one, I guess you would say. So whichever part of this you guys get, awesome. So wrote a bunch of stuff down a couple of days ago, actually, and so wanted to just kind of go over a bunch of things that I was just kind of thinking about. You know, how my brain was just kind of just here and there, everywhere, sometimes. So just wanted to share that with you, and something to kind of think about as this New Year's upon us, and you know one of the things that they talk about is resolutions, New Year's resolutions, and you know, there is a trend with those that I've noticed over the last few years, and a lot of these New Year's resolutions seem to kind of fall off a lot sooner than what they have been. Normally, people would make a New Year's resolution, and usually fitness is at the top of them. And I'm gonna go work out, I'm gonna go to the gym, and they would, and usually they would, from what I remember, people were sticking with it until like around March, and then they would just kind of slowly just drop off. But the last few years, 4 to 5 maybe, it's gotten less than that. And some folks make it like a couple of weeks, and then that's it, they're done, they don't do it anymore. And they just for whatever reason, they're not with it, they just don't want to. So hopefully that changes this year. I don't really do New Year's resolutions anymore, more so goals for the year. So have as many goals as that you can think of, and just try to achieve them. So that's kind of what my mindset has been since last year. And I don't know, I guess at some point you make kind of like a little mental switch. So that's pretty much what I ended up doing. And so this year is no different. So wrote a bunch of stuff down before the new year started, and so we'll see what happens. But I made a little post yesterday, and one of the things I talked about it was never let anyone tell you what you can't do. And when I made that video, it was, towards people that, you might share something, an idea, or something you want to accomplish in your life. You share it with somebody, or you share it with some friends or family or whatever. And not all the time, but every once in a while, you might have one of them out of that group that'd be like, oh, I don't think you can do that. Or, no, I mean, that seems too tough to do, or that seems too hard. Maybe it is for that individual, but doesn't mean that it doesn't mean it's going to make you want to not try to go after that goal or whatever. It's still achievable. If you believe it is achievable, then hey, you just got to figure out how to do it. You pretty much just have to figure out the best way to get that result that you need. And something that I have been doing is, for myself, if there's something that I want to achieve, I ask myself this: how hard can it be if other people have done it? If other people have done it, is it really that hard? Ask yourself that. If it's really that hard, how hard can it really be? Maybe it is a little bit hard for you at the time because you don't know how to achieve it. It's not something. I think a lot of times when we come into situations where we're unfamiliar, that's the part that kind of holds us back. And I know for myself, encountering new things that I might have to go through or might have to experience in order to, get a certain result, or you have to actually get past something. And so asking myself that question, how hard can it be? Okay, I can answer that. It probably is going to be pretty hard. But somebody figured it out. Multiple people figured it out. That's the other thing too. So, I'm going to use few things as an example. Hey, I want to play basketball. I want to be a basketball player. Okay. Well, okay, you can. But it's hard. The practice is hard. Okay. Thousands of people have played basketball, from when it was invented. They played, they probably didn't know how to play at the time either. Think about it when you were first starting in the beginning, being taught how to dribble the ball, how to shoot the ball, how to protect the ball. There's different aspects of it that you're taught from your coach who learned how to play at some point. Hence, I'm sure it was hard for them at one point. Think about when they became a coach. A lot of times the coach actually wanted to play. And sometimes, an injury or age, because, that plays a factor. So you will see other players or kids or, potential people with skills who could actually probably become a better player or a really great player. And so you want to pass that knowledge on to them to help them out to be able to develop their skills in order to become a really good player that you think they might be able to be. That's we have coaches for a reason. In all aspects of our, life, whether it be sports, whether it be personal development, hell, even cooking, not too many people talk about that, but you think about when you're being taught how to make a certain dish, how to make something like a family meal or something like that. Say, for instance, you're going to be cooking for your family for the very first time and you're so nervous. I know some folks when they're Thanksgiving is a pretty good example, or some traditional get together, and one certain person is tasked with hosting the event, and they've never hosted before. Many times, the person who showed them how to cook will also be like, okay, well, hey, you can say, for instance, that person's sick, they can't cook that year. Hey, I need you to do a favor for me. I need you to be able to cook this year because I can't. I'm sick. The person who's tasked with that, the pleasure of doing that might be like, oh my God, oh my goodness, I've never done that for so many people before. Ask yourself that question. How hard can it be? Cooking has been around for many, many centuries and a very, very long time. So you think about all the different meals that have been made. There has to be millions of meals that have been made, whether it be something generic, whatever. But at some point, there were also meals made for a group of people. If you've never cooked for a group of people before and you are placed with that task to do, I can almost promise you there's nerves going all over the place and you're trying to figure out what the hell am I supposed to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? But the person who taught you, most of the time, that person is still being able to coach you like, hey, it's okay. You remember how to do this. This is what you'll do. If they can't physically be there, you got phones for a reason as well. That, and then also, too, sometimes they still have the old recipe books, Might have wrote the notes down and you just pull that out and go through that, do it that way. As I said before, you ask yourself that question when facing certain things. And if it's something that you really want to accomplish, you just say to yourself and ask yourself. You ask yourself that question, how hard can it be? And then you say, well, it can't be that hard because other people have done it before me. The only thing you got to figure out is how you're going to do it. Because in the end, it's going to be you're going to be the one doing it anyway, not them or somebody else, because it's something that you want to do. So you just have to figure out your method. That's where a lot of trial and error comes in. what works, what doesn't work, you know? And then, like I said, if you really want it to work, you're going to find a way. That's the other thing, too. You're going to find a way to make it work. If you are really that serious about something working in your favor, you're not going to let anything stop you. So, you know, especially if it's a goal and a dream, too. In a combination, you're not going to let anything stop you, you know? So what? There's an obstacle, so what? There's a bump in the road, so what? Doesn't matter. I still need to get over there. That's what I need to do. So I don't care what's going on here, there, whatever. Here, there, over there, it doesn't matter. I still need to get to the end because that's what I want to do. That's what I want to accomplish. So I'm going to just have to figure it out and what's going to work for me in order to achieve that. So once you do, something that you should also consider is this. At some point, you might come across someone who might be going through something, whatever, or wanting to achieve something that you just did. Pass that knowledge on to them, please, because it helps. It helps. Pass that knowledge on to that next person. There's so many tools out here nowadays. Hence, you know, there's YouTube, you know, articles that have been written. You got your TikToks, you got your Instagrams, you got all that stuff. So, which, you know, motivational, inspirational people out there, influencers, passing that knowledge along to someone out there or a group of people out there or a community out there that is looking for, you know, some type of knowledge pertaining to a certain subject or whatever. That stuff helps. I can definitely say that stuff has really helped me, you know, on this wonderful life's journey, just in general, because, you know, we're all going to face things that we are unfamiliar with, and trying to figure out how to navigate through it is sometimes pretty important to do. So, certain things we might not have in our lives to make it a little bit difficult in order to, you know, understand certain things. Some folks might not have their, you know, mom or dad around to be able to ask them questions about stuff. So, you know, you might have to rely on an older relative who might be somewhat helpful in that, or, you know, someone you might look up to who can have a conversation with about certain things. So, very thankful for those things that are available, and you know, definitely has been very impactful on a positive level. So, don't believe everything out there, but there are some things that definitely are beneficial. So, for the folks out there that, you know, pray on a regular basis, or don't pray, you know, or believe in a higher power, you know, definitely, I look at it this way. If things have been working for you, and as I said before, I say my prayers every day, I thank God every day, you know, tomorrow's not promised, you know, we have today. So, I'm so thankful for all the opportunities that I've received in my life, and believe there are many more opportunities out there for what I want to do in my life. And, you know, I know it's only possible with him. So without him, I wouldn't be able to do many things that I have done, you know, over the years. And so, you know, definitely still working on my relationship with him, and, you know, that's a continuous journey as well. So, but I'm gonna get there. So, just thankful for all the opportunities that I've received, and being able to continuously grow as a person, as a human, as a dad also, even though my daughter's grown, but also too being able to be a positive example for her, Uh, you know, so for the folks out there that are parents, you know, definitely wanting to try to be a positive role model for your children, and just showing them, you know, hey, you don't have to be perfect. You know, a lot of times too, it's all about effort rather than perfection. You know, progress over perfection wins every time. And another thing I love saying too is slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. And, you know, you believe the tortoise and the hare. If you don't know that story, check it out. Check it out. A friend of mine told me that in his culture there was a similar story, but one of the animals was different, and I think it was the snail, the hare and the snail instead of the tortoise and the hare. So I'll have to ask him again, but same concept, same analogy, just different animals, characters, or whatever. So, but yeah, slow and steady wins the race. You know, and eventually, you know, those little habits and stuff that you're learning will stack up over time. And then before you know it, you'll be running on all cylinders. You'll be like, oh my gosh, look at how much time has passed, but look how much time, what all you've learned in that time. So definitely beneficial, definitely worth it. And, you know, don't be in such a rush to get to the end, because honestly, I will say the journey is where it's at. The journey, the road you take to get to where you're trying to go, man. It is, when you get to certain places, when you get to certain goals, when you get to certain dreams and you finally made it, it's like, oh my God, yeah, you're happy, you're whatever. But after a while, that kind of like, it's the way you get there, man. It is the way you get there. Kobe said something about that after he had retired. Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, he said, you know, it's about the journey. You know, that's what it's about. All those hardships you go through just to get to that point. Because you ask yourself in the end, was it worth it? You know, was it worth it to go through all that? Because sometimes they'll say like, oh man, you might be disappointed with the result that you got. But, you know, while you were going through all of it, I'm pretty sure you just were kind of kept telling yourself, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be fine. It's going to be right. The experience. Look at the experiences you got out of it, you know? Everybody's life experiences are different, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them, they'll be like, man, you know, during that process, it might have sucked. It probably did, but, you know, nobody can take that away from you, and that's an experience that you have now for the rest of your life, you know, that you made it through that, and being able to look through it. Because I'm sure asking yourself, like, how am I going to get through this? This is too hard. It's too hard. How am I going to do it? Somehow you did. And sometimes you got to go through stuff without even just really thinking about how you're going to do it. You just know you have to get through it. You just know you have to do it. So, been kind of like doing a little mental trick for myself at work, where it's like, oh my gosh, I got to do this, I have to do that, I got to do this, all these things, and I'm just like, okay, well, I know I got to do this and this and this, so I'll just do it, and not even think about the effort that it's going to take. It doesn't even matter. I just know it's going to take some effort, but I do know I have to get this done. So, knowing that I have to take breaks here and there, I have to get it done. Hence brings me to, as I mentioned before, yes, I did write a book, and it is in the review stages right now. Amazon is where it'll be. And so what is currently going on with it is, when you do an ebook, when you do, you know, a publishing, this is my first time doing it. I'm self-publishing, so by the way, let me mention that. Self-publishing. There's a process to it. And of course, if you've never done it before, then it's a learning experience as well. So for me, I'm learning that, you know, it said when I uploaded my story and everything, they have up to 72 hours, which is 3 days, you know, in order for them to go ahead and post it, publish your book for you. So I had to wait until I had a problem with it. Let me just tell you. I uploaded it, the ebook first. I did that one first because that would have been easier. That was easier to do the digital part. So I did that first. And so it says, yeah, we'll let you know in like 72 hours. I'm like, cool. So I did that. Well, the problem that I ran into was the last part where it's trying to identify, you know, ID verification is what it said. And so you have to show them a picture of your driver's license. And so I did that. Well, it couldn't recognize my picture and was saying that said that I lived in 2 different countries. Obviously, that's not true. I live in the U.S. So I don't know how you got that wasn't true compared to what I had on my account, whatever. Anyways, so I kept trying to snap the photo. I did it so many times that it said like, well, we can't verify. So for now, you cannot use the KDP, Kindle Public. I'm like, wait, what? No. Y'all, I submitted this stuff on Saturday, and I had literally been working on it like all day Saturday because I had everything together, the process to doing, you know, how to have the setup and all that stuff, finding the book cover and every cover, designing it and all that stuff. I did that, and then so I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, get it in there. It didn't work. It didn't work. And I was just like, what? So to the point where it said, like, we have to verify who you are before you can actually use the, you know, before we can actually publish your book. And I was like, oh my God. You're going to run into this kind of stuff when you are wanting to do something that you know, need to accomplish. It's a goal of yours to accomplish. You don't expect it to just, everything's going to work out fine. This is where the growth comes in. So Sunday I was just like, man, I did it. Because I didn't give myself an out Saturday. I said, I got to get this done. I got to do it. I'm going to do it. I did do it. I didn't get the end result that I was looking for. And I was just like, oh no. I was like, why? But there was nothing I could do. It's a weekend, and I was looking at their schedule for like what days they're going to be working or whatever. And they had in there Christmas, you know, New Year's or whatever, that they would be not working off. I understand. So I was like, all right. So literally I just made a ticket, you know, made a case to be like, hey, I have a problem. You know, couldn't verify my ID. You know, I need help with this. How can I fix this? I know I checked Sunday just in case to see if I got a response, but I didn't get one. So I was like, all right, well, ain't nothing I can do about it right now. I literally have to wait. So patience, folks, patience and grace. You know, this is something I had never done before, but it was something I wanted to do. So I was like, all right, I'll just wait, you know. So I go to work Monday, and my brain was still, you know, yeah, I was focusing on work, but at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm like, I gotta get this figured out, man. I just, you know, like how? You know, what do I gotta do? What do I need to wait on? So I checked my email around my lunchtime, and they okayed it. I was like, yeah. I was like, all right. I also took a picture with my phone of my ID. I was like, let me just do this. So I was like, bet. So I went on the website on my phone, and which actually worked out much better than using my laptop. So just FYI, if anybody, you know, publishing an ebook for the first time, if you can, probably use your phone and then upload that photo. That's the best way to do it. Anyways, I go to do that, and then it says like, okay, snaps it right away. Boom. Then it says, yeah, we need a picture of the back of your ID. And I'm like, what? Well, I didn't think of that. Well, I didn't have my ID with me, so I had to run into my locker room and then snap the photo again, front and back. Boom. Got it. Verified. All right, you're good to go. Yeah. And I was like, bet. I'll finish the setup when I get home. Part 2 of this. Actually, you know what? part 2, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna make another video on that, but I think I'm gonna do that one tomorrow instead. So kind of give you a little bit of something, and then I'll finish the second part. Let's just say I'll give you a snippet into it. Let's just say this. I wanted to do both versions, the ebook version, and I also wanted to do the paperback version. Paperback version, there's a delay with that one also, and that one just came down. It just comes down to the presentation of it. So there's a process for that as well, which I'll talk about tomorrow. But anyways, that's all I wanted to share for today, guys. I got some more stuff I had written down in here, and I'll go over that a little bit more tomorrow as well. So Happy New Year. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Great New Year's Day. And this is our year. Tell yourself that. This is our year. We're going to accomplish all of our goals, resolutions, if you believe in those. Accomplish those. And don't let nothing stop you. So don't worry about how long it might take. You just tell yourself, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. And how hard could it be? Because someone else has already done it. How many people have done it before me? If there's a lot of people that have done it before you, just try to figure it out for yourself. That's literally all you got to do. Figure it out for yourself. What's going to work for you? How are you going to be able to do it? If you got to write it down, yes, write it down. Write it down what you want to do. And then break it down how you need to do it. And that advice I've gotten from all kinds of people. So, you know, folks close to me, and then also too, articles and literally, you know, videos that I've watched. So, you know, stuff that they've all done as well. Write it down. I'm telling you right now, you write it down, you'll be amazed with the results that you get. So, with that being said, guys, have a great rest of your New Year day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.